You've seen the videos of planes using their engines to move themselves around the tarmac. But have you ever wondered why they don't just use reverse thrust to back up to the gate? It turns out that there are some major drawbacks to doing it this way. So let's take a look at how reversing a plane's thrust works and why it isn't used for pushbacks. When a plane is moving through the air, its engines generate thrust by pulling the air backwards. This is called -1 here. Now, if we flip the direction of those engines around, they'll start pushing the air forward instead of pulling it backwards, and that's called +1. You can see that when the plane moves forward, the jet exhaust pushes the air in front of it forward too, making the plane go even faster. That's why a plane can use its engines to help push itself into the wind, which increases its speed and helps it take off. But what happens if we want to slow down or back up? Well, if we decrease the amount of thrust being generated, the plane will slow down and eventually it'll reach a point where it's no longer moving forward. Then, if we flip the engines to reverse, they'll start pushing the air backwards, slowing the plane down even more. But there are two problems with this. First, the amount of thrust you get from an engine is directly related to the speed of the engine. The faster the engine spins, the more thrust you get. But spinning the engine faster requires more fuel. And right now, the plane isn't generating any forward momentum, so it has to spin the engine faster to get the same amount of thrust. That means that to get the same amount of reverse thrust, you need more fuel, which makes the engine less efficient. The other problem is that the air that's pushed backwards by the engines isn't going anywhere. As the plane moves backwards, the jet exhaust collides with the fuselage, creating a huge amount of drag. That means that the plane has to put out even more thrust to move itself backwards, requiring even more fuel. So using reverse thrust to push a plane backwards is inefficient and requires a lot of fuel. That's why planes only use reverse thrust for very short periods of time and not for things like pushbacks where the plane is not moving. Now, some smaller planes and helicopters can use their engines to move themselves around, but that's because they don't have the same constraints. They don't carry as much fuel, and they don't have to worry about the efficiency of their engines. So the next time you see a plane being pushed back, remember that it takes a lot more than just flipping a switch. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more.